Cyndi ONeill-Dady here, founder and chief connector of Exceptional Connections. So I have my dear friend Molly Klipp here. Molly is a certified permanent cosmetic professional, and she's the sole owner of Carefree Beauty Permanent Makeup. But what she really is just a dear friend who I admire and so enjoy her friendship and appreciate it over the years and her support with Exceptional Connections. So I'm so excited to be able to have this conversation with Molly today, with and learn more about what you're up to these days.
Cyndi, it's great to be here. I always love connecting, especially with you.
I know you do. And since the first day I met you, you embody exceptional connections, and fit in so well. And so I want to give have a little conversation here and follow the tenets of our connection circle. But I also want to really get an update on what's going on because you've had some changes in the last year.
I
So
have.
tell me more about your moving your business from Marysville to Linwood. And is it all that you hope for? Are you excited?
I am. I have for the last I've been doing permanent makeup almost 10 years. January will be my 10-year anniversary. And I started doing it in my home for 4 years and then had a location up in Arlington, Smoky Point location. And I was only doing 1 day a week down in Linwood because I knew I needed to keep my connection to my Linwood people. And then it went to 2 days a week and then 2 days a week up in Arlington. Well, May of this year started a shift in my whole business, which is great. And now I'm 3 days a week in Linwood and I'm not in Arlington anymore. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, working 3 days a week and having 4 days off. And I'm not going to tell you that it was easy to begin with because I'm used to working. And all of a sudden, having 3 days a week and 4 days off, I'm like, I haven't had that much time off since I was 17 years old. I've always worked from the time I was 17, except for the babies, but those don't count. Um, so doing the 3 days a week, I have to say it took me a couple of months to get used to that schedule, but the benefit has been fabulous. My husband and I laugh because, Fridays now are first Saturday and Saturday is second Saturday and Sunday is first Sunday and Monday is second Sunday. So we just kind of have this, thing going together. He's retired. So it allows us to be able to just do some really fun things. I'm getting a lot of family projects done that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. Um, and it's been wonderful. And the group down in Salon Exuberance that I work in is talk about connectivity and community. They are amazing. Um, they they embrace me as part of the family. I mean, I rent a space there, but I never feel like that. I just feel like I'm part of the family. And they're absolutely wonderful. You got a chance to meet some of these people when you came to our
Yes.
open house in
Yes. So
April.
we've got to talk about your grand opening that you
Yep.
guys had.
Yep.
And my husband and I went, and a number of our Exceptional Connections community,
That was
we
so
all
nice to see you
it
guys. That was
was
great.
so beautiful. And
It
it
was so
was so nice to be able to visit you in your new
Mhm.
space and to celebrate that. So is it all that you hope for? I mean, I know that obviously
It's even better.
the
It's even
schedule is
better.
brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's such a gift, and they're flexible. If I couldn't come on a Tuesday, they'd let me do a Friday. So I mean,
Mhm.
it's an open the room. They totally remodeled it for me, so it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Um, every time I bring a client through the salon, they're like, "This is really nice. This is really nice," and I'm like, "I know."
Yes.
It's just, and they send me clients, so always getting new clients from there.
Nice.
I'm sending them clients, so it's very much a symbiotic relationship, and
Mhm.
helping each other out. And how can we do this? We've got a big retreat coming out in October. We do every year, and I get to go and spend a weekend with these girls. It's great.
Oh, that's beautiful. What a wonderful community you've
It
created.
is. It is.
And I love your vision too, because you had an exit strategy for your
Yeah.
business, right?
When I started the business 10 years ago, I've been in business for 41 years, owning my own business. And I know enough about business that you got to begin with the end in mind. So when I set my business up, it was what happens when I want to sell it. So everything is set up as a system. So it's turnkey. So when I have trained the person who will take my place eventually, um, they'll be able to walk right into it, and it will already be all set up. And that's part of the deal, because our goal, John and I are looking at now, is buying an Airbnb over in Chelan area and be over there on weekends, and then be coming over here to work 3 days a week. So actually going back and forth. So we're actively looking at properties now to find out, what it is we want to have. I'm totally, completely, 100,000% know that God's got a place waiting for us. It's just a matter of finding it and waiting on Him.
Yeah, so that's your next big initiative right
That's our,
now,
yeah,
sort of
that's our,
selling your business, right?
yeah. And selling my business is a long way away. I'm not looking. I will have a shop over on the other side.
Mhm.
So, and it will eventually, go from there. But, again, I'm just waiting on
Mhm.
God.
Well, and you set yourself up so that it's not work. I mean, you're enjoying it like you always do. You love people. You're a people person. And also you have an opportunity with those 4 days to really get, like you said, your projects done, spend time with your husband and family. It sounds
Get
like a
more training
beautiful,
I get more training in. I've got
yes.
a new marketing thing that I'm working with. I'm actually taking on a new training. I'm going to start this fall, areola, tattooing nipples on uh, cancer patients that have had mastectomies and reconstruction. So I'm
Wow.
going to learn how to do that too.
Wow.
I'm
You
excited.
because you've done that eyebrows for women that have had chemo,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I
That's
do that.
something that you've
I do
offered.
that for free. Yeah, I've done that since I started.
That's beautiful, Molly. What a beautiful contribution you are.
Oh, no, it is so much fun. I mean, I people laugh at me, but when I did somebody's eyeliner yesterday, and I'm tattooing on her, and as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, babe, oh my gosh, you look awesome. Oh, I love my job. They just sit there and laugh at
Aw.
me.
Well, because you get to make a difference with your skill set because you
Yep,
started back in beauty, right? You were doing
oh,
cosmetics and
yep,
Alouette and all of
yep.
this. And that's when
Yeah,
I
for
first met
30
you.
years, that's when I first met you. Yeah, for 30 years, I
Right,
owned a franchise for Alouette Cosmetics. So I've
right.
always been in the beauty industry. So I know it makes a difference. I know it makes a difference in how people feel about themselves. I had a lady yesterday who's 72 and just a sweetheart, but has her self-esteem is very low. And she just needs to feel beautiful. And so we did her lips yesterday. She's going to do her eyeliner next, and then her eyebrows. And my whole goal now is I want to transform this lady so that she feels good about herself.
Yes, that's important. To have that self-confidence is
Mhm.
priceless, right?
Yep, it is. It is.
Well, Molly, you've been a spotlight speaker for Exceptional Connections. And it just in this conversation, it reminds me, I've got to get you on the schedule for next year again because everybody loves you in our community. And you have such a wealth of information and just heart and desire to share what you've been through in your own businesses. So we need to talk, girl.
Okay, we can
Get you
make that
back on
happen.
the schedule to be a speaker. And the only thing I'm not too happy about with your changes and the new thing
I
is
know.
you're not able to come every Tuesday. And
I
so
know. I
we need
know.
to get you back on the schedule because we love
I,
having you be a part of our community.
I was bummed. I wanted to see Jessica. I would have loved to come to her. And I'm like, oh, and this lady that I booked in that time slot, it's like she had moved it around a couple times. I'm like, I can't ask her to move. So yeah.
Well, you
So,
know who to call if the
I
schedule
know. Oh
changes.
yeah. No, if it changes, you bet. I'll be there. I'll just show up.
Oh, I love that. I appreciate that. So, just kind of in closing, I want to make sure I put a bow around our conversation here and really, get like what you're up to. So, what is the vision that's inspiring you to take action right now? I know that you're, planning on getting a place in Chelan, or tell
Yep,
us more
Chelan
about that.
Manson. It's Manson. Um, John and I have always loved Lake Chelan. I mean, it has
Okay.
been our happy place. We had a timeshare over there for 10 years, and we would go over there 4 times a year. And every time we just drove over there, it was like, you know,
I know. I
and
remember
yeah,
hearing that.
I've talked about it. And we haven't had it for 5 years now, and which has allowed us to travel. John and I love to travel. We're always, finding new experiences. We've been married 46 years. In fact, we just talked about what we want to do for,
Wow.
I know, what we're going to do for our 50th anniversary in 4 years, what we want to do. And so this, the thing that excites me about this Airbnb is John and I, as you know, are very social people, and we like to spread salt and light and, spread
Yes.
the word, right?
Right.
And so to be able to have people come in and be able to have them come into our home, whether it's you know, a a studio apartment or the downstairs or whatever, but to be able to give them a warmth of feeling of, okay, you're now you're in our circle, you know.
You can breathe, right? Put the
Yeah,
shoulders
you
down.
can take the shoulders down because I know how
Mm.
I always felt when we went over there. So to be able to create that and do the same thing for them and give recommendations of what wineries to go to and what brewery to go
Yes.
to, and be able to get coupons from different places to be able to give them good deal. I mean, I'm looking forward to that creativity part of it.
Now, have
Um,
you purchased it yet?
no,
Okay. So
no,
you need to let me know because we
oh yeah,
want to, Curtis and
oh,
I want to be your
I know.
first
I'm saying
customers.
I've got so many people going. When you have it, I'm coming.
Yes, we want to go.
I
Sign
know.
us up.
It's going to be fun. So, I mean, one
Mm.
of the benefits of having our big house that we had for 21 years was, I mean, we had massive parties. We always had parties and had people over, and we loved it. And I'm glad when we sold the house, that part of our life went away, but I kind of missed that piece of
Mhm.
being able to have that, because the house allowed it, the way it was set up, and, it was big,
Yeah.
and we could have 100 people at it and nobody would know any difference, and to be able to do that on a smaller scale over in Chelan, with an Airbnb, that would be great. So, we talk about connecting. That's another way to connect.
Right. That's right. And making a difference in the community and being able to, you're such a wonderful hostess. That's who you are. You love family and gathering people,
I do. I
gathering community. So to be able, that seems like a beautiful extension of who you already are, and you can take advantage of it yourself, right?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And just it's interesting how, and we've got a great real estate agent over there. Nick McLean is awesome over there. He's just a sweetheart, and he knows what we're looking for now. And so as he shows us places, he's like, well, and I mean, you can always tell with what he thinks about it. It's cute. It's wonderful.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you bringing us up to speed and letting us know what you're up
Oh
to
yeah,
and how we can keep you in our prayers in terms of finding just the right beautiful Airbnb.
I
And
will
you're
be
saying,
shouting loud.
yeah, you're saying it's not Chelan, it's what area?
I'm hoping Manson is what we really want to do. We want to do it
Manson.
in Manson, which is about 7 miles outside of town of Chelan. It's not that far.
Okay. All right. Well, if I hear of anything, I'll let you know, and I'll keep
Okay.
that for sure in my prayers that there's the perfect place will come on the market at the perfect time
That's right.
to
I
meet
know
your
it will.
vision.
I figured God is already preparing the person who's selling our house.
He is.
Hmm.
It does work that way. I
It
believe
does.
that. We need
That's
to
how
just
we get.
put it
Yeah,
out there and manifest that, right?
that's how the house I had before. I had the picture of that house on my refrigerator for 16 years. So
Oh,
I know
wow. It's coming, girl.
it is. I got it.
I
So
love it.
what's going on with you now? Tell me about, you got some shifts happening. So I want to
Yes,
hear. I'm the first to hear it. I want to hear.
you are. I'm so excited. So yeah, thank you. So, what Exceptional Connections has offered our community, is the opportunity just to build our businesses, build our relationships.
Yep.
And really the three things that I think about with Exceptional Connections and you hear at our events is, we believe in the power of connection, collaboration, and community. So those are the three essential ingredients for building meaningful relationships and of course, growing our businesses. And so connection starts with showing up, coming to the events, being present, actively listening to others. The collaboration piece is all about sharing our knowledge and our resources and seeking out opportunities to work together, while at the same time being open to new ideas and perspectives, right? So that's all part of community. So community is about cultivating a supportive environment where we can learn from each other, where we can celebrate each other's successes, and of course, lift each other up through the challenges that we face. And that's one of the things, like in me talking about having you again as a spotlight speaker, you're sharing your heart, you're sharing your journey, the tough bits too, right? The good stuff and the tough bits. That will be a contribution to others who are just starting off or who aren't as
Mhm.
far in their journey as you.
Mhm.
And so that's my heart with Exceptional Connections. When we focus on connection, collaboration, and community, we're creating a network of friends, of trusted professionals, who we can share our values and our lives and our commitment to with each other to achieve our goals. So that's really, in essence, who we are at Exceptional Connections. And you know this because you've
Yep.
been a part of our community for a lot of years.
Yep. Yep. Not quite 14, but probably 10 of those 14.
Yeah, I think so. You weren't at we were at Mazatlan restaurant for a number of years.
I was there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're close,
Yeah.
girl.
I'm close. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I know I didn't come to the very beginning, but I know that I came pretty
Well,
close.
actually, you know what? I take that back. We were our first meeting was at Plaza Garcia, and
Yeah,
then
I
we
wasn't
went to
there.
Mazatlan. So you weren't
Okay.
Plaza Garcia, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. Hmm.
But it's been a beautiful journey, and I'm so grateful for all the support and the contribution of our community to still be here and celebrating 14 years.
That's exciting.
And
That's a
yes, it
big
is
deal.
exciting.
It is. It is. And a lot of your people, keep following you around. And even the ones that came back then still follow what you do. They're still following.
Well, we still have people coming by that were part of Plaza Garcia. I mean, we
Oh,
have Lisa
nice.
Hawkinson and Margie
Yep.
Murphy, and it's just beautiful
Yep.
that I say, like, you guys are founding members. You're part of
Yeah.
our community from the very beginning. And when I was just kind of the idea, the vision, the inspiration, it was just formulating.
Yep.
And so it's exciting to be able to make this next transition.
Hmm. I know. So tell me about it. Tell us.
So, so our new mantra is everyone is a classic connector, an exceptional connection, until they become a champion connector. So the champion connector is the new initiative that we're launching. And really, I just want to give you a little, background on how that came to be. I just really feel like people are hungry for meaningful, deep, meaningful relationships and conversations like the one you and I are having right now. Um, Conversations, connections, and I'm really committed to creating an environment where these magical connections can grow, be nurtured, and flourish. And as you know, I'm an avid gardener, and so
Yes.
the gardening metaphors are something that I think are just beautiful and just remind me of just the beauty of relationships and the importance of giving it time and giving it the environment it needs to be able to flourish. So a champion connector is, I'm actually going to just take a second and just share something with you that I wasn't sure I was going to share. But when I was doing the champion connector, it's not just a pitch. It's not a list of, benefits. It's really who people are. And I was woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning a couple months ago as I was putting all this together. And it's one of those things where sometimes you can get yourself back to sleep. And I was like wide awake
Yep.
and I'm thinking about this. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just get up. And I really felt like God prompted me in thinking about what a champion connector is. He was like, Cyndi, your champion connectors are now out there somewhere where you need to find them and attract them. They're already part of your community.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I'm like, that's right, they are.
Mhm.
And we'll want more of them, of course. We want to attract more. But really, right now, what I want to do is celebrate the champion connectors in our community. And Molly, you are on that list. You were one of the top people on that list that I consider you're a champion connector. You're somebody that's an advocate for others. You're somebody that shares your knowledge generously and kindly with people, that you take the lead, that you've been a leader, that you're, as a certified, that your CPCP credential, certified permanent cosmetic professional, you've been in that industry for years. You've given back for years. You've been a contribution, and you do the same thing in your Alouette business, and now with your permanent makeup business. And so I thought it was so beautiful when God gave me that clarity that, Cyndi, you already have a rich number of champion connectors in your community.
You
And
do.
so
Yep.
it's really not like finding them. It's like
Hmm.
this is who they are, and just creating a space for them, intentionally to gather, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Intentionally to support each other. So again, like-minded people where we could have meaningful connections, partnerships within the community. And it's men and women. It's not exclusive to just women.
Yep.
So that's something I wanted to share with you first and foremost, is that this beautiful list of, it's actually 35 individuals that have been part of the community, that get what it is to be an exceptional connector, that they already are champion connectors. And I just want to be able to shine the light on them and acknowledge them and create an even richer environment for them to flourish.
Yeah, good space. You think,
Yes,
you always say you don't want to, what do they say? If you want to soar with the eagles, you can't hang around the barnyard with the turkeys.
that's
So
right. That's
you're
right.
creating a bunch of champion connectors that are already eagles,
They're
and
already
they
there.
attract, yeah, they
Yeah, I'm
attract.
not trying to create them into anything. It's they're
Yep,
already there. And
yep.
then so what I mean, my first statement by everybody's a classic connector, is we're going to be rolling this out in October, but I don't want to exclude anyone.
Hmm.
So if somebody still wants to play, as we have in the past, with just coming and paying for your networking, lunches included, you're a classic connector. We have a place for you.
Hmm.
But if people who want to really establish themselves and provide more visibility and connectivity in our community, we want to be able to, well, like we say, you've heard me say this before with our skill shops, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Right,
We're rising the tide.
right.
And so I have 6 facets that I came up with that help me to just identify, like the value and that we want to continue to impart in terms of the rising boat. So one is a community enthusiast. So these are people who recognize the significance of being part of a bigger community and the importance of forging deeper connections.
Mhm.
Partnership creators is a second one. So these are people who want to collaborate with Exceptional Connections to celebrate and support community members through various initiatives. We've done our quarterly business celebrations, our business showers for brand new businesses, commemorating business milestones, having spa experiences, and partnering with others in the community too. So we've been doing this. I've been experimenting with these different initiatives. Thirdly is relationship builders. So business owners who prioritize nurturing lasting connections, building trust and mutual growth within our supportive community. Fourth is lifelong learners. And these are people like you, Molly, who appreciate the value of our monthly spotlight speakers and just glean, because I see you. I've seen you. You're a note taker.
Oh yeah, I
And
am.
yeah, so you absorb the wisdom and insights from the presentations. And then I'm using you as an example because you're such a beautiful example, but I've seen you like say, oh, I'm going to implement that,
Oh yeah.
just
Hmm.
immediately. And you do,
Yep.
as well as the deeper dives that we offer through our 2-hour skill shop. So it's not like, it's really putting together what we've already done and then enhancing it, right?
Yep.
Um, visibility seekers. So these are people who, are interested in more visibility, connectivity, and profitability that comes from, being with like-minded business owners. So we're going to be having on our website, that a new website that we had in the last 2 years. We're going to be adding membership profiles so that we can find each other easily. And they're beautiful. It's a whole page. You get a whole page.
Nice.
Um, and personalized name badges, additional discounts and perks to certain events, and then priority for marketplace vendor opportunities. And then the last piece is just engagement enthusiasts. And so what I mean by that is people who are looking for a higher level of engagement and consistency and intimacy within our community, and desiring to expand their influence and elevate their businesses to new heights. So again, those are all things that we all are, but we're upping the level in terms of engagement in our community, because I feel like it's become really evident, and I've played with this. So what I'm offering with the Champion Connector, I've been playing with for the last couple of years with the gardening parties that we've been having, with our spa experiences, with the business celebrations. So it's not like, oh, this is what we've been doing and this is what we're going to do. I've been doing kind of a soft launch to let people know it's more than just the second Tuesday networking events. And that's what we were for a lot of years. And then we added the skill shops, and then we've added, different other things. So, I feel like that's not enough to fulfill the need for deeper, more meaningful connections. And so that we're moving in that direction.
Very good. Very good. So you're creating, so, when you talked to me about this Champion Connector, what I'm hearing you say is what you're hoping to create from this initiative is closer bonds, but teaching people how to create closer bonds with relationship building situations. And when I say situations, you're talking, the garden parties you're doing, I remember going to the thing with Lisa Fisher teaching the scarves, and then we went to that shop, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun to be able to do that. But creating, being in a different situation rather than just, like you said, that Tuesday you go, you listen to these great speakers, you have this time, but it's rote. It's the same thing you do every time. When you change it up, and that's what I see you creating, is the opportunity to create different situations to have closer relationships. You're doing
Yes.
really well. Yeah, I see that.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I feel like the second Tuesday event is really critical, because we
Oh yeah.
need to have a place where we show up professionally,
Yeah.
and we
Yep.
learn how to do that.
Yep.
We have a spotlight speaker, somebody we can glean something
Right.
that we can put that immediately into our
It's
business.
it's
We
the
get to meet
base.
people.
It's
It's
the
the
base.
foundation.
It's
It's the
like
foundation.
it's the foundation. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just a girlfriend's club, right?
No.
It's, we want to keep a level of professionalism and being able to connect, whether it's men and women or just,
Right.
gals, and do events. There's
One of the
another level of
pieces
intimacy.
one of the pieces that you're doing that I really like, is because I know I can't come every Tuesday because I'm working now. But, like Jessica's going to be at this next one, which I'm so bummed I'm not going to be there. But you do an interview with her the following Wednesday and record it. So it gives me an opportunity to be able to listen to it later and hear what she had to say. I know when I spoke, Trish Tadera couldn't come, but she listened to the Wednesday because she wanted to hear what I had to say.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what a great opportunity to be able to,
Yes.
still
Well,
get the information.
right. It's a deeper dive that we
Yep.
offer our community with the conversations to connect. And you've been one of my conversation to connect guests, as you mentioned, when you
Yep.
were the speaker, and it is on our YouTube channel. So if anybody wants to
That's
check it
great.
out,
Yeah. What an opportunity. Because you can
and
just pick and choose. Yeah.
we're pivoting that into a podcast, by the way. I know.
Hey, look at
All
you.
all of the past Exceptional Connections replays are now podcasts.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And we're going to be tweaking the format a little bit so that they can be ongoingly a little up level them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can I share something else with you that
Please. Yes.
so the inspiration of the Champion Connector program, it really came during a reflective time in my garden. And as you know, 2020 was a time where we were all isolated, and it was a crazy time. And so this revelation or realization of like a way to deepen our connections, I realized that I wasn't ready for retirement yet. That, like I had things I want to accomplish in my businesses and my relationships, and I felt like there's a higher calling for me. And so I'm literally on my knees in the garden, digging in the dirt, and God is just kind of downloading to me just this expanded vision for exceptional connections in our community. And the epiphany just ignited a clear vision for our mission and making a difference in business. And also, I don't know if you've heard about it, it's called the 7 Mountains of Influence.
Yes,
And
I
they
have
talk
heard of that.
about,
Yeah.
they talk about religion and culture, or excuse me, religion and business and media and all the different mountains of influence in our culture. And I feel like God has called me to education and business.
Mm-hmm.
And so, although it's not a different thing, he doesn't have me doing something different. I'm still doing Mailbox Power as a relationship marketing strategist and exceptional connections. But I feel like I have a calling that I'm walking into, as opposed to moving into something new.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Um,
That
and
makes
so,
total sense.
yeah, so I feel like there's a hunger for authentic human connections right now, and a recognition that people really want that deeper connection, but they don't know how to go about it, and they don't know where to go to find it.
Yeah.
So
And,
thus,
and we have to be the people to invite those people. I was writing down a couple of names as we're talking, going, oh, I need to invite her because she would be great, because people I already know who are champion connectors, and to be able to invite them, to be able to see the piece that exceptional connections can do for them in their lives. So
yeah, so going back to like what we shared at the very beginning of this conversation about 6 steps to exceptional connecting, and something that I'm really passionate about, and I teach at our events, kind of a mini little lesson. And I know you haven't been able to come the last month or so, but I devoted this year since February to doing a deeper dive on each piece of the connection circle.
Yep.
And so what we're doing in September and October, we're launching, is our connection exchange. And so I've been teaching on this. So the majority of our members have a clear understanding of what it is to really understand the process of connecting powerfully and being exceptional connectors. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a networking experience where you'll find somebody in the room that you don't know very well, and you'll each be able to connect, discover, listen. So like a mini networking type of time. And then we're going to, give them each 4 minutes, and then the assignment to exchange contact information and contribute, follow up, and nurture. So close the circle, finish the connection circle. So we're going to be adding that to our
very good
opportunity. Yeah. So in
That's
addition
great.
to giving your spotlight commercial, hearing the spotlight speaker, the marketplace vendors, and the camaraderie, meeting new people, you will actually get an opportunity to have a one-on-one with somebody.
That's great. I like that. I like that because it'll give for me, you and I, we could talk to anybody, but there's other people that don't feel that.
Right.
And so to be able to find someone in the room, and you can recognize them, the ones who are little, like this,
Right.
that those of us that don't have that fear will automatically be attracted to those people, right? And to pull them out and make them feel part of the group even more so. I like it. That's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you and I know this. We're both been networking for many, many years, and we've changed our style of doing it. I used to network 3 to 5 times a week.
Oh yeah.
Crazy me. But now hosting my own event, I gather people. That's kind of a different way of doing it. But it's just really a beautiful thing to be able to be in community, to bring people together, and to be able to support those who aren't as confident in it, right? And so, I've discovered whether I'm in a room with 80 to 150 people or 30 people, I make 3 to 5 connections. And so that's why I find having a more intimate group of high quality people is more beneficial. And so, again, that's a skill, going around and connect, discover, listen, exchange contact information, and then connect afterwards. So we're going to give people a little jump start by they'll have one.
Yeah, but if because you and I can go get 3 to 5. Most people have a hard time getting one. What you're doing is guaranteeing them one.
Yes.
And then it will give them a reason to do maybe 2 the next time or 3 the next time. But you're giving them, the people who don't have that skill set yet, the absolute one.
Right. And
That's
we'll
good.
see over time, as I'm doing one because I want to just manage the time. But we may be able to do 2 rounds. Who knows? of
Well,
a
you know what?
connections
You
exchanges.
start one and
Yeah,
then see what happens, right?
exactly. Or
Yep.
have an after hours where we just do a connection exchange,
There you go.
and we can
There
do
you
two
go.
or three rounds. So I have a vision for this and I'm
Yeah.
excited about it.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. How exciting.
Yes, it
So,
is.
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
All right. So, do you have a favorite story about your journey? I mean, we've talked, it's been 14 years. You and I have known each other for longer than that, but it's like, do you have a favorite story about your journey of what brought you to this?
Wow, that's a great question. I'm going to answer it this way. It's part of the connection exchange, and it's something that I came up with that is at the heart of exceptional connections. And people don't really know it because I don't say this all the time, but I'm going to share it with you.
Mhm.
Imagine viewing every chance encounter, the ones we meet at the grocery store,
Right.
um, in an elevator, networking, as a connection that could change the course of your life.
Hmm.
That's who you and I are, right?
Yeah.
So that's my mantra. That's my, I don't even know if you call it a mantra. That's something that's
Your
near and dear
vision.
to my heart.
It's a
My
vision.
vision.
It's
It's
your
a
vision.
vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine viewing every chance encounter as a connection that could change
Yeah.
the course of your life. So when you're talking
That's
about
awesome.
story,
Yeah.
I had a chance encounter. Okay.
Okay.
Because when I was thinking about my heart for community, connection, collaboration, I'm like, where did that come from, God? And so I realized it's always been there for me, but I do have a specific story. So I had a chance encounter. It was the first day of the first week at the University of California, Irvine.
Okay.
So I was petrified on the outside, like, trying to be cool and all that.
Right.
But on the outside, in the inside, I was just like a mess. And so there's students in my college class, and we sat in, lecture style rows in
Hmm.
an auditorium, and we were all connected. Yet at the same time, we were all, I kind of see a picture of being on our own deserted island,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
So to break the awkwardness when the professor said something funny, unexpected or whatever, I found a sympathetic friend sitting on my right hand side. So we would kind of look at each other and, smile. And so we talked with our eyes until our mouths were able to catch up later after class. That's how I say it. And so we connected and compared schedules. We learned that we had a few of the same general ed classes, even though I was an English major and she was pre-med. We walked across the campus with our maps in hand, signaling to everybody we were like
New.
off the boat freshmen, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, and we only had a few minutes, but during that chance encounter, I look back at it now, we connected, we
Hmm.
discovered, we
Yeah.
listened, right? And we formed the trust and bond that allowed us to contribute to each other as late night study buddies, you know, over the years in our classes. We were in each other's weddings. We celebrated growing our families for the past 45 years.
Oh.
And we've kept this relationship alive and thriving by following up, nurturing our relationship, right? And
Wow.
so this helped me realize that connections can happen in an instant,
Hmm.
yet take a lifetime to enrich and nurture,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've also learned that this has been repeated many times in my life. When I went through my divorce, one of my best friends in the world is an attorney, and we're going to be going to Camino this weekend.
Hmm.
And we went through some really hard times together. That it's kind of like when you go through a war with somebody, like
Yeah.
college or divorce, it
Right.
really bonds you, right?
Yeah.
And so there's so many, and like you, Molly, I consider your friendship
Mhm.
just one of those,
It was a
like,
chance encounter. It
it was a
was.
chance encounter. I went to your home,
Yeah.
and
But
you
didn't we meet at the it used to be the Holiday Inn in Everett? And
yeah, that we were in eWomen together.
well, no, wasn't you were in the roaring,
Roaring Women.
right?
That's right.
And my meeting was next to you.
Oh my gosh, you guys were so loud.
But it's
You
like
were the
that's
Roaring Women.
we were but that was our chance encounter.
That's right.
That was where we actually met that first time.
See, enough said. I mean, think in your life and I can think in my life
Yeah.
of how many people that so you never know.
No, I mean, how
Never
I got
know.
started in permanent cosmetics was a
Yeah.
total, meeting of Penny Rudy, just, yeah, all of that. I mean, how I got on the board, she introduced me to SPCP. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
So showing up is important, right? Because we never
Yep.
know what opportunities are there. And so I look at every relationship now. And because I look at it like that,
Mhm.
I think they're showing up more and more all the
Yeah,
time.
I agree with you because now you're
You know?
recognizing it. Yep. Yep.
Because I see the potential in relationships. And sometimes I think, oh gosh, I thought that would go further. But the old saying about friendships are there for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Right.
And
Right.
so if they don't pan out to be bosom buddy
Mhm.
girlfriends or
Mhm.
whatever, we were able to be a
Right.
contribution to each other for that season in our lifetime. And it's
Right.
okay. I can let
Right.
it go.
Right. Right. Right.
But thank you for asking that question because it really reminded me that, exceptional connections is something that God has really,
Yep.
it's been a lifelong journey for me.
Yep.
And not very many people know that story.
It's what you created, Cyndi, is a space in which people can come and have those moments. That's what exceptional connections is creating that space for people to have those moments in their lives so they can move forward and get their lives changed. You got a good space.
Mm. Well, that's my heart. And,
Mhm.
I'm excited about the new vision that God's given
Yep.
me to
Yep.
up level our community, to bring us together
Mhm.
and give us an opportunity to identify the champion connectors,
Yep.
for us to shine and thrive and support each other, and then the ripple effect in
Mhm.
the world, in the community.
Mhm.
So we're not in a box or in a bubble, right?
Well, you're creating an environment for people who are champion connectors because that's who they are, or they've just been doing it a very long time.
Yes.
But bringing in new people who are not and giving them a role model in which to follow,
Yes.
because I mean, you and I both know in the businesses we've been in, we follow the rules and we look at the people who are doing well and doing and we follow in their footsteps to say, okay, I want to be more like her. I want to be more like her. I've become the person I am because of all the different mentors I've had in my life and the people who've taught me one more thing, one more thing. You taught me, the 6 steps, which I had been doing, but didn't consciously know I was. So
Mm.
to be able to break that apart and to be able and I'm a big believer in skill sets. When I'm brow mapping somebody, it's not just all about my eye. It's like, okay, we measure, we look, we draw, we look to your face. I mean, there's some symmetry that goes on.
It's
There's
personalized.
systems.
It's
It,
personalized.
it's personalized. And the
Yes.
same thing goes with exceptional connections. With each person that you are with, it's a personalized situation. And you have created an environment to be able to exemplify that. So you've done well.
Mm. Oh, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And I just love this conversation and the opportunity to catch up with you and just kind of share with you a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes here at Exceptional Connections, what's coming. And I love what you said about mentoring because that's near and dear to both of our hearts.
Yep.
I know every time you've spoken to Exceptional Connections, we have people that are on the edge of their seats and taking notes frantically and wanting more because you share so generously from your heart what you've been through and give people a vision for what's possible in their businesses, right?
Yes. Yeah. And that's sometimes all somebody needs is what's possible.
Right.
Hmm.
And so that's my heart as well, and it's still coming together. There's a way in which it's what we've always been, and then
Hmm.
it's also kind of new horizons for
Well,
us,
you're elevating, you know,
taking it
yep,
to the next
taking the
level
next level.
and
Yep.
provide. So we have lots of benefits we're offering
Yep.
people, but it's not about the benefits, it's about the journey and the
Yep.
heart.
I can't wait to hear more about it. This is going to be great.
Well, Thanks so much for this conversation. It was super fun and can't wait for you to rejoin our community.
I know
And
I'll be there probably not till December because I'm traveling a lot in the next couple of months. So yeah,
well, if anything changes, you know where we're at.
I'll just show up.
That's right. So I just
Text
want to
I'm coming,
remind,
Cyndi.
yes, yeah, you're welcome anytime. You know that. So I just want to leave everybody with remember to make every connection an exceptional connection. Thanks, Molly. You're the
Thank you,
best.
Cyndi. Love you, sweetie.
Love you too.